Good afternoon. Welcome to Between Two Teapots. We are here today yet again with Alchemichael. What is going on, Mike?
Hi. What's up, everyone?
Sorry for those little technical difficulties. His camera may fall over. We'll figure it out again. We'll do it live. We're doing it live. Hopefully you guys can hear everything. The volume's not too loud, not too low. If it is, let me know. We'll figure it out. We're drinking Stargazer today. Last time Alchemichael was on, we drank Altered State. He's also done the first wrapper he did for us was this fancy one right here. This is Stargazer. If I can get it centered there, yeah, Stargazer. This was fun. Autumn Huckeye material. We're gonna be brewing it up. I've got a teapot from Mark Moeller. This little monster one right here. What are you brewing on or with?
I'll be using this. It's a Dwani clay teapot with a heart sutra carved into it.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know who made it. Some Chinese guy.
If you guys remember from last time, Alchemichael has quite a T&T ware collection. You can see hints of it behind him. That whole shelf right there. Look at that. That's all classic stuff. Alchemichael's a completionist. He's got to get them all. He's well on his way. I like it, man. That's pretty cool. I'm excited to have you back on. I'm sorry about the audio last time. That was frustrating. But hey, we got it. We fixed it this time. We were up late last night working on it.
I'm here. I'm ready to make tea.
Ready to make some tea.
I hope everyone can hear me. All right.
I think it's good, right? Somebody say somebody in chat. Let me know if it's good or not. It should be. I think it's good. So I've got the Mark Moeller pot, and I've also got a fancy little Genjan bowl. I'm gonna be brewing in that today too. I'm pretty excited. Haven't had tea in this one in a little while. Ro says it sounds good. Ro, if you say it sounds good, it's good. Ty says it's all good. Nice, awesome. Anybody from the Discord chat in here today? If not, guys, post a link over to your little group over there. Let me know. I got to get you guys in here to chat and have some tea with us. All right, where are we at? Good. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the feedback. So yeah, Stargazer, man, that was 2017. I think we probably met 2016 Vancouver at the Tea Festival. That probably sounds about right, right?
I think that sounds correct. Yeah.
About 5 years ago now. Yeah, I liked your art, and I don't know. Did you tell me were you like, hey man, let's do a wrapper or something? I don't even remember how.
I don't actually remember. I remember I came up to you and talked to you because I recognized your beard from YouTube.
You're like, I know that beard.
That was exactly it. I was like, oh, that's that Glenn guy.
He does tea stuff. Yeah, I don't remember. I think you probably were like, hey man, well I do art stuff. Maybe we could work together on a wrapper. And I was like, sweet. Maybe. I don't know. I can't remember. But
yeah, my memory isn't so good for that sort of thing. But.
No, I know, and that was really long ago. Before kids have taken all my brain power away. So yeah, what's your excuse?
Nothing. I live in BC.
Your excuse is you're Canadian. Nice. Hey, you got a tea cat.
Yeah, this is, I don't know, dude. This is Whiskey. This is my boy.
Whiskey. What's going on, baby boy? Who else has a tea cat? Where's Zioxio? Zioxio's usually in the stream. Zioxio's my Zioxio loves tea and cats. That's his thing. Yeah, so we went to Yunnan in that next year. Found some really nice autumn material from Huckeye. Huckeye is generally a little bit pricier, a little bit spendier, and found some really nice autumn stuff that was a good price. And I don't know, the name just I don't know, Autumn and the Moon Festival and the stars and stuff just kind of made me think about space and stuff. So I don't know, the name Stargazer just jumped into my head one day, and I'm like, hey, that's pretty cool. And then floated the idea to you, and you were like, I can handle some art like that. That's kind of in your line, kind of like you're kind of got like a sci-fi cyberpunk edge thing going on, and then you just you dropped this, and I was like, that's pretty sweet.
I think we talked, and you said that you wanted someone like looking through a telescope.
Yeah,
and that
that was my thing. Is just like I'd mentioned something about either somebody like watching the stars like through a giant machine, or maybe somebody that like is a giant machine watching the stars or something like that. I think that was my thing. But in my head, I was envisioning Giger's what's it called?
The jockey, space jockey.
The space jockey. In my head, I was envisioning space jockey, and apparently you were as well. Although I never actually mentioned Giger or space jockey to you. And then when you came up with that art, I was just like, "Look at that, man! Look at that." So if you guys, there you go. Something like that plays a pretty cool. Giger had some cool design stuff things as well, and I kind of like the idea of these giant machines that get that are kind of like biological entities themselves. Oh man, I haven't had this tea in a while now. Who else is anybody else in the stream drinking Stargazer? If so, let me know. It's been a decently popular tea. Not as popular as Altered State though, man. Altered State's been crazy.
It's a really interesting tea too, though. Altered State. This is really good, but Altered State is it is powerful.
Yeah, it is. It's a strong tea. And we are actually doing a Altered State version 2 this year, so we'll be excited about that Mark 2. Yeah, more states, more altered. There we go. And yeah, like I said, it's been a while since I've actually had this one. If you guys are drinking something else in the chat, let us know what you're drinking. I'm always curious what you're drinking, what you're brewing it in. You got Guy Wands, you got Teapots. Heidi Berger, howdy. She logged out of Discord and can't log back in. If you never see her there again, that's why. I'm really sorry, Heidi. You forgot your Discord. You forgot your Discord login or something like that. That's kind of funny. Heidi only got on Discord like for the first time last week, and she's already logged off forever.
I only got Discord like a month ago.
Yeah, are you in the T Discord? You log into discord.gg?
No, I'm actually at just Metal Gear Solid 5 modding. It's they're called Modders Heaven.
Modders Heaven. All right.
Because there's for I've been playing a lot of Metal Gear Solid 5. There's like 1,000 mods people have made for it.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty into it. It's extended the gameplay to infinity for me, which is
right,
great.
because it's already such a short game that you can play in only like 10 or 15 minutes. So it's a good thing that you extended it.
That's Ground Zero. Ground Zero is like, how would you put it? Like there's 2 games released as Metal Gear Solid 5, and one is called Ground Zero.
Oh, okay.
And one called Phantom Pain.
Gotcha.
And Phantom Pain has all the mods. There are a couple for Ground Zero, and someone's taken the map from Ground Zero and put it into the Phantom Pain, which is a big deal. It's pretty awesome.
Gotcha.
A lot of work.
Gotcha. So that was what you were working on last night, right? You put some hours into Metal Gear Solid again.
Every day, baby.
Man, I mean, yeah, because that was it was like 3 months ago we did the first stream with you, and you were it was all day, all night Metal Gear Solid then too. I figured you would have gotten it done by now, man.
Well, I am actually all kind of finished it up, but then I started modding it, so it's a like the tagline for the game is never be game over. So,
gotcha.
It's kind of that. That's what it's like.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna join me in the Cyberpunk 2077 train for a little while. Did you ever make that jump?
No, I think I looked at it. I don't think my computer can run that. I'm running an older rig right now, so. My other computer died and I haven't got a nice one yet. My friend actually made the one I'm using for me just so I could continue playing video games and making art.
Nice. You do most of your art computer based?
That's how I finished. Like I'll work pen and ink. That's like I'm pretty traditional in that sense.
Yeah.
And then to clean it up and to add color and stuff, I'll scan it and do that digitally, and like mostly for color because it's faster for me to do color digitally than it is, and it's also cleaner. My apartment's carpeted, and I'm kind of messy when I paint. So
I hear you. So are my kids. Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
I like the fingerprint too.
Paint all over the house. Yeah, no, that's cool. That makes sense. You kind of got like a hybrid approach. You haven't jumped into the full 100% like Procreate mode like everyone else seems to be doing.
No, like I said, I'm a traditionalist. Like
Yeah,
I'm just like in tea, I follow very traditional kind of school of tea making and thought, and I'm very much the same way in art. Like I learned to draw looking at classical art and stuff. It's really funny because people think like they don't know why I draw the way I do. It's interesting. Like within like the comic book world, you have like styles that people follow.
sure.
Mine is much like a European, very much like a guy called Mobius.
Yeah,
I don't know if anybody knows who that guy is. Jean Giraud. He designed all the stuff for like, oh my God, Star Wars, The Abyss, Aliens. I don't know, lots of
Moebius, right?
yeah, not
Yeah,
like the mathematician.
I'm just popping that into the chat for the people. And what was the other guy's name? And pop that in the chat too, so people can do some Google searches later on.
Oh, it's the same name. Jean Giraud is his real name, but they
Oh,
call it
right,
Mobius,
gotcha.
or in French they call Mebius. It's kind of weird.
Mebius.
Yeah, if you watch reviews, they're like, bon, je vais dire Mebius,
Mebius.
bande dessinée, which is just comics. The French word for comics is bande dessinée, drawings,
Yeah,
strips of drawing.
he was probably like the biggest comic book person that I hadn't heard of until I did, and then I realized like I'd just seen this stuff everywhere and just not really known like who that was.
Yeah, he's like a god. Like he's behind everything. His vision. He's an interesting fellow, but I draw a lot like him, and people think I love the guy, but people think I always look at his art. It's because I studied classical art, and he's studied classical art, and I've tried to adopt a lot of that into even my stupid sci-fi art. You know,
that makes sense. Yeah, I think the first time I actually was able to put a name to who that was watching the Jodorowsky's Dune documentary.
Yeah.
That's when I was just like, man, that blew me away. I was just like, oh my, this guy does really cool stuff.
Yeah, he's I've loved him since like I can remember reading the first comic that by Mobius when I was a kid, and like being really unnerved by it. Like I was actually put off by it when I was a little kid. I didn't like it. It was too creepy and weird. But then as I became a teenager, I was like, this is the coolest stuff ever, man.
as you became creepy and weird, you kind of
exactly.
That's pretty funny.
Well, I used to read I was born in the 70s, so I grew up in the 80s, and I would read this magazine called Heavy Metal. It's still produced now, but it's just not as good. But
sure.
Heavy Metal magazine.
They've got they have a decent Instagram. They post a lot of really cool stuff on their Instagram.
Hey, they posted me on their Instagram actually.
Dude, nice.
Yeah, they the LA one, they reposted some of my art one day. I think I was drawing Meta Barons, which is something that they print, which was actually drawn by Mobius originally. It was Jodorowsky and Mobius.
Yeah.
What was I saying there? Anyway.
But you watched a lot of the Heavy Metal magazine. Read the Heavy Metal
I read
magazine.
a lot of that. And that's what Mobius started that with some other French guys, Droulet and Mézières, and some of these guys. Like
I didn't realize he started that.
Yeah, it was called Metal Hurlant, like screaming metal in France. Do you know did you see that movie Valerian?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Mézières. He's one of Mobius's buddies. That comic, like, if you ever read that comic, you'll be like, I can't believe all the stuff George Lucas ripped off from this guy.
Yeah. No, George Lucas took from everybody. I mean, that was.
It's like people don't even know. Do you know what I mean? It's like someone being really into Metal Gear and then watching Escape from New York would be like, what? None of the stuff I love is original.
That's Eventually, you live long enough to realize that everything that you love was taken from something else.
Yeah, but there's something like one of the things about Metal Gear is they don't hide it, right? Like there's literally in Escape from LA, the guy says, "Is that Snake Plissken? I heard he's slowed down." And then in the game you're playing, the guy you save a guy and he says, "You haven't slowed down, have you?"
Yeah,
right? Like it's a direct reference.
Yeah,
like it's interesting. I don't
I love that kind of stuff though, because I'm into hip hop, so I like remixes. I
Yeah.
like sampling, so I have no issue at all with any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, I totally get it, and that's literally the essence of culture. I mean, even when it comes down to the actual like term of it, you know, your things are taking from other things, and they're modifying and they're changing and they're making new things. I think we
Well,
had
it's
a
all
big
memes, man.
big
It's all
hiccup in
big
the big hiccup with the whole like, you know, like Disney copyrighting literally every single thing in the world in like the 2000s, that kind of like created this little creativity stop because of that, you know, in the past. I mean, they took all of their stories from like, you know, classic European literature and stuff,
Yeah, they should
and
pay
then all
the
of a sudden
German.
it's theirs forever, like Snow White, Cinderella, all that stuff. They didn't write those stories, but
Yeah, like
um,
I that you're right though. That is like part of culture, right? You
yeah,
reinterpret things from the past over and over and over again.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Update.
well, even like you said, you studied, you know, like classical art. Well, every classical artist that we ever grew up knowing and loving, well, they sat down when they were young at their art school, if they went to art school, and all they did was just copy the old masters, you know, like stroke for stroke for stroke, and then eventually like they learned how to take their own style. I'll pop in with questions when people have them. So if you guys have questions, like just drop them in. Um, we're gonna be sitting here drinking tea for a while, so we've got time. We can take the conversation wherever we want. Um, Julian wants to know what you mean by you follow the traditional way of pu'er, or the traditional way of tea, whatever you said.
Oh, I learned to make tea from a guy from Hong Kong, and he how would I put it? This style of tea making, Gong Fu Cha, comes from a specific place in China, just near Hong Kong. You know,
Yeah,
and they have their own like specific ways of making tea, and that's what I learned from. So I try and follow that as much as I can.
yeah. So have
Um,
you, speaking of, you know, like culture and modifying things and repurposing things, have you been able to add any of your own additions to making tea? Anything that's unique to how you do it?
no, I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
Unless I like, if something came up within like naturally,
Yeah.
maybe, but there's nothing that I can think of that I do any different. I know that I do make tea the way my teacher does. Like
Yeah.
my boss at I work in a tea house. I don't know if anyone. Yeah, I should reintroduce that just in case anyone's new.
Yeah.
Uh, I work in a traditional Chinese tea house here in Vancouver. We have a couple locations. But my boss there, when I make tea, and if you watch me when I empty the pot, it's kind of forceful.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to get all the liquid out because
Yeah.
that liquid will continue brewing in the pot, right? So I
Yeah.
try and get it out. And she's like, "Oh, you do that so kind of, you know, strong." And then I brought her to meet my teacher,
Yeah.
and he finished making tea. She leaned over and said, "Oh, you make tea just like your teacher."
Get
And then,
out. Yeah.
but his teacher would wrap the teapot in a towel and spin it like this.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, you know,
I don't know
it's
if I would do
variation
that.
in everything. Like tea making is very, it's very personal. I think like it can be, each person has their own kind of distinct way of doing things, but at the same time, it maintains this one kind of structure,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
But like traditional, I like I use older style stuff, very simple kind of style stuff. I kind of, but I just like not really on purpose. I just get traditionally like drawn to traditional style things. Like I don't even notice.
I know what
Like
you
even
mean.
if you look at my teapot collection, the style of the teapots, they're very similar.
Yeah.
All have this kind of like Qing Dynasty kind of look to
Yeah.
them to me.
Brandon wants to know why you have so many teapots, and if you have advice on when he asked if you have advice on when to commit to a pot.
Oh, it's teapots are a really hard thing to get into and learn about. Like the only reason I know the very tiny amount that I do is that my teacher is he's an expert on antique teapots.
Yeah.
Um but like really, you're just looking for good clay and a fast pour. Is like those. If you have those, then you're set. You know, like there's certain things that I'm interested in that other people aren't. Like when you look at a teapot, they want a tight lid. You hear all the time.
Yeah.
But I actually want it a little loose because it allows this action
Be able to move it up.
It'll allow you to drain the teapot faster, and so it's an amount of control, right? And Gong Fu Cha is skill and time, right? So you have to manage your time skillfully, and it takes time to learn the skill. So you're trying to work with the tea. So sometimes you have to pour very quickly if the tea is too young or too bitter and that sort of thing. So it's just amounts of control that you want. But people have different tastes, you know what I mean? I like kind of like the type of teapots a hermit would like. Whereas like my friend gave me this teapot, and it's like one of the nicest ones I've got in like style. You know, like it's super slick.
Yeah.
You know. But most of the ones that I have look like this one, like kind of, you know, what's the word I'm looking for?
Stout.
Old.
I don't know. I visually I'm drawn to, you know, like the dragon's egg shape. You know, I like the shape of dragon's eggs. But like when it comes to practical use, it's like so hard to get like leaf in and out of them. So I end up like using ones that are a little bit more vertical, like kind of like the one that you've got there. So it's just easy to get leaf in and out of. That's
my favorite shape. This shape.
What is that shape called? I don't remember.
Julanju.
Okay.
The Great Wheel. I think it has some Buddhist reference, but
right.
That shape, it's good for any type of tea. You know what I mean? It can spread out and go up, so it's a really good shape. Whereas, like, my wife bought this teapot. It's super beautiful, right?
Yeah,
like
that is really pretty.
Oh my god! And like, can you see the carving?
Is that wood fired too? No.
I'm pretty sure it's wood fired
as well. Color on it.
It was crazy expensive. I think it was about $600.
Yeah, that's a pricey one.
And that was a deal. We got a good deal on it too. Yeah. So that one is beautiful, but it is shit for getting the tea in and out.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
Yeah, because you've got the long thing on the top, and so it's kind of hard your fingers that can't even get inside.
Yeah. Plus, it's the gourd shape, so it goes in at the top. It's got a smaller opening.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Like, it's a beautiful teapot, but it's not like the best for using. Yeah. Even though I use it anyway.
I totally understand. Somebody was curious which tea shop you work for.
Oh, it's called Van Cha, Vancouver Tea, Van Cha, or it's got a couple of names because we use the Chinese name as well. So
okay.
It's if you've ever been Vancouver, I recommend going to the West Vancouver Big Tea House and having some tea and food. They make, like, we have this woman from Taiwan does all the cooking there, and she is it's amazing, man. She makes me noodles for lunch. She's like, "Oh, you want spicy noodles?" Like, yeah, I do. I want anything that she cooks.
If I told Llama that, Llama would be there. Llama would be there tomorrow.
It's really good because they're from like Yunnan, so they make for lunch for us some really good food, man. It's like, she's from Taiwan, but my bosses are from, I think one boss is from Yunnan. They're from all over, mostly mainland China. But then somehow we ended up scoring this Taiwanese baker, and she's really good food, man.
That sounds really awesome. Yeah, the next time, post COVID world, when the borders open again, we'll have to sneak back up there, and Llama will chow down on noodles.
For Tea Fest, it'd be nice, man.
Yeah, depending on if they've changed the Tea Festival time. I don't think we could have made it last year, even if we were around. But I don't know.
I went to last year. New venue.
Oh, that's right. No, it was earlier in the year.
In a new venue, yeah. They moved it to the I can't remember, Nikan. It's like the Japanese Cultural Center. It's pretty cool, but the Chinatown with the garden is that's the spot, man.
It is a really great place there. It is a great
It
place.
seems like a waste to move it. I just didn't understand.
Sometimes I've been, helping out like the Northwest Tea Festival at times, and yeah, sometimes there's just all sorts of stuff that just goes on in the back end. You never really know like why decisions are made and stuff. So who knows what it was. But, Ivory Flute 86 wants to know how often you practice Chao Zhou Gong Fu with Yancha or Tiguan Yin.
Oh, it depends what I'm making. I don't drink too much yancha, but I do drink a lot of dan chong.
Okay.
In fact, that's why that teapot, the Junie teapot I showed you, the red one, that was given to me so I would drink more oolong from my buddy whose family's from Chaozhou. He was like, "You got to drink more oolong, man," and gave me that teapot. Which is fine. If you ever want me to drink more tea, give me a teapot to make the tea in.
That's funny. Yeah, just for that tea. That's funny.
Well, that's why I have so many teapots. I think someone in the question mentioned that, like, why I would have so many teapots.
Yeah, why do you have so many teapots, man? What's going on?
But I repair them too. That's my new thing. Like, some of these on the shelf, I don't know how well you can see the cracks showing up, but this one is like shattered.
Yeah, so somebody else asked about repairs. Are you still doing the repair stuff?
Yeah. So I've been slowly carving this crack out so that I can fill it, and then I'll put gold on top.
What are you carving it out with?
A tungsten scraper.
Okay, just a straight scraper, nothing, no power tools?
No, it's too fragile.
Well, I mean, there's like some of those, because you can get like diamond bits on the end of, like a high-speed rotary tool. You could kind of like go through it like that. I've actually thought about playing around with that. Go ahead.
It's control. I want to have specific control. Like I have a Dremel and stuff. I use the Dremel to do the staple repair you've seen. I've showed you that staple repair stuff.
Yeah. Well, show us again, man. Some new people on the stream.
Like, this is how an old way of repairing stuff.
So cool, man.
So the other side. So I use a Dremel to drill those holes.
Oh, nice. That makes sense. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I really like seeing like old tea-ware broken stuff get repurposed. Just
I'm all about it. That's like I like, job of resurrectors is to wake up the dead. It's a good time. It's fun.
Yeah. It looks the staple look is actually really, really cool as well. I'm trying to think if we've had a handful of things repaired here. I think I end up usually just selling them off or auctioning them or something on Instagram. We've had somebody, what's his face, kid up in Michigan does some kintsugi stuff. We had him repair some stuff here and there. But
is that one of those Song Dynasty bowl filters?
This one here? Yeah, man.
Those are cool.
Yeah, they are pretty cool. I'll show the rest that I got here. Or I mean, that's the word, or that's the rumor. Like I said, I've never been able to, prove it. Or the people who've been able to swear that it really is won't actually put their name on it. So it's like,
it's one of the things about antiques is we can't be 100%.
Yeah,
it's pretty tough. Even like the dish I'm using right now. I don't know if you guys here. I'll show you.
Yeah, let's see all your stuff, man. Show and tell time. Let's see what you got.
So this is some old plate. I don't know. I was told it was, well, when I saw it, I thought it was Qing Dynasty. But a friend who is more knowledgeable than me said it was from Ming Dynasty. So,
wow.
No, I was just sitting with my teacher, and he was like, "Here, do you want this dish?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's really beautiful." And then the other guy was like, "I think that's old."
These are the other two that I've got.
That's nice.
They're actually.
It's hard to tell, but it looks like it could be,
So here's one of the things that I originally noticed that I thought was super interesting about it from a detective sort of way. All of them have a specific difference from their center of gravity from the center of the pot, right? So Like for example, like this one here, it was drilled, like the filter was drilled and it was added like specifically right into the center where the foot of the pot of the cup would have been. But then you notice that the glaze has actually pooled like significantly off center. And some of them are even more than that. And it's all about 10 or 15 degrees, as if these actually were in like a dragon kiln that would have been at a slope. You know what I mean? Because once it's fired, the gravity of the position is going to show where the glaze pools. And so the glaze on all of these is all pooling off center. So they were all at least fired at about 15 degrees, which I thought was pretty interesting.
That's some good detective skills there. I like it.
Thanks, man. This is another one here. I've actually sold. We sold 2 of them. So I had.
That one's nice.
Yeah, they're all really cool. We had. I had found 5, and then this is the I kind of like this one because it's kind of like gotta have like an eyeball thing going on. But this one's actually I've been using this one a ton, so I just like I like the shape of this one. But it's all cool stuff. I mean, I really like the. There we go.
Yeah, that is cool.
I really like I just like the way the glaze sits on this one. Yeah, we sold. I did sell 2 of them, so makes Lamu happy. when I sell tea-ware, I'm always in the mode of just buying tea-ware. I'm like, Lamu, this looks cool. Let's buy this at this shop. And she's just like, are we gonna sell it? And I'm like, maybe.
I got a tea-ware addiction.
Yes, that's
awesome. I was
awesome.
gonna say
There's this pot too. This is a nice one in my
Look
collection.
at that, man.
So this could be from the late 1700s to the mid 1800s.
That's really cool. I love the fatty stout on that one. That one probably pours pretty quick, right?
Yeah, it's really nice. So this is, in fact, this would be the same style as this teapot, a Julin Ju,
Okay.
even though it's just a shorter, stouter version.
Yeah. Does it have a filter or a single spout, or what is it?
Everything old is always single.
Always single. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, they didn't start doing those filters that you see until I don't know, sometime in the 80s, I would think.
Gotcha.
All the teapots that I have from before 1980 are all single hole.
Well, that makes sense why you'd want like a thicker spout than a wider spout, because otherwise the leaves are just they're gonna jam in there.
Well, it's even how you brew would be.
That's true too.
When I'm using a teapot without a filter,
Yeah.
I brew a specific way. Even like I'll tilt the teapot just on a bit of an angle, so now all the leaves fall into the pocket and then pour.
That's a good trick.
It's a technique. That's the kung fu, man.
Nice. So we're actually we've got a bunch of Genshui teapots and stuff that we're just finishing up a production run of. Pretty excited about it. Got a whole bunch of white clay, the Genshui white clay teapots.
What?
Yeah. Have you seen so Genshui's got 5 different colors of clay, like native there. The what becomes Genshui, the purple clay, is a custom mix and a blend of all those different 5 clays. And each shop can actually make their own blend if they want to. Most of them now just like buy from like 1 or 2 guys that just do all of the blending. But traditionally, like they would like custom blend the clay to their own specifications, and so different shops, the tea would actually taste different in the different ones because of how they had blended the clay, which I thought was pretty interesting. There's the white clay is generally the only one that's really strong enough to actually like fire on its own. And so we ordered a bunch, and like the smaller and the sizes that we like. But then like they're going through clay like so crazy over there. It's not gonna be too long before they get to the point, where it's like Yixing, where like certain portions of clay are just like not accessible anymore.
That's a limited resource, man. Just like it.
So we did something that we've never actually done before. We actually we bought like 2 tons of white clay. So we own a small pile of like white clay at our potter's like mountain warehouse or something. And so anytime we have like white teapots made now, it comes from like our clay reserve.
What kind of shapes are you having them made in?
So like when you're like selling teapots and having teapots custom made, like I've found like if you make things too confusing, then like it gets really confusing for, you know, like keeping the site organized and inventory and stuff like that. And so I generally stick with basically like 3 shapes right now. I'll go with like a nice stout little dragon's egg. The Zisha, both of those are always just super popular. People always just love Zisha and dragon's egg, and then the rest of them are usually kind of in my like the modified Chipiao shape that I've been working with the factory on. This was actually our first version of it, and the lid was a little too flat, and so the water just kind of sat on there and would just look funny. And so the new version's kind of like a little bit more domed, and it's got like a little cute little ball on the top. And those are the 3 shapes that we're going with. But then, you know, we've got white clay, and then the black clay, and then the red clay, and then so that automatically gives like 9 different options on the site. Things get complicated really quick the more you have. But, yeah. But super excited. And the nice thing about the white clay takes such a great polish. You know, I generally have most of our stuff kind of have like a medium polish on there, so that the more people use it, like the tea itself actually polishes it, kind of like a traditional like Yisheng would work. But man, like the white clay just looks so good if you pay somebody to like polish it for like 3 hours. it just makes the teapots like so much more expensive, but they just look so good. They just have like this like rich like bone luster to them. I don't actually even have any white teapots. We've actually sold all the ones that we've got. So, but pretty excited about that. So that and our big pile of clay. So.
Oh, there's a mountain of clay.
It's a mountain of clay. I never thought I'd be I would be investing in clay futures.
Oh, because you thought you were going to be making tea when you were like 20.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I'm
Shoot. No.
I'm gonna have all these kids and I'm gonna make all this tea. That's my plan.
That's my plan. Shoot, what was my plan when I was 20? I don't even remember. You got to take each day as you go. When Ange wants to know when we can expect the white ones. I don't know, like in a month or so probably. I think they're still getting polished, they're still getting finished. We've got some other stuff we're working on. We'll probably we'll get them on the site as soon as possible, but it's going to be at least a month probably. Got to ship some examples of each one here so I can taste some nice pictures and stuff of them and stuff like that. People like to see pictures. Excuse me. Yeah, like I said, any questions in chat, just go ahead and throw this stuff out there. Otherwise, Michael and I will just we'll just chat about anything. So, I did finally finish Cyberpunk 2077. I kind of
How many hours was it?
I probably put in less than 100, so I didn't put in a lot. I kind of got a little tired of it. I just kind of wanted to get it done. There's like a bunch of different there's a whole bunch of different endings and stuff in it. There's like 5 or 6 different long endings depending on like choices that you make, and they give you at one point in time in the story, they're like, all right, so basically save now if you want to save. They just come out and tell you, like, and then, you know, you can finish it however you want. And so I went with one of the endings that I had heard about, and I enjoyed that ending. But no, it's good. It's actually, I mean, it's good. It's really good.
I've heard mixed reviews.
Well, I didn't have any of the problems that most of the people had with it. I think a lot of the problems that most people had was it was mostly like glitchy based. For me, it ultimately felt just a little plastic. Like, I thought the world needed to be just a little bit more immersive.
Well, it's a pretty ambitious thing to try and pull off.
Incredibly ambitious,
yeah.
And they actually did an incredible job on it. I can't even get upset at like nearly anything about it, just because like the actual scale of like the storytelling and just like the production value, it was like it's just so well done. But it eventually like got to the point where I no longer really felt like connected to the story. I did at the beginning, and then it kind of separated me, and at that point in time I just kind of got a little annoyed with it. But
I won't tell you how many hours I put into Metal Gear.
Yeah, probably quite a bit.
Oh my God. I will tell you. Like,
Go ahead.
I almost 900.
It's over 900. Nice. Wow, that's
I think almost 900 hours.
That's amazing, man. That's
But it also counts, like sometimes you have to farm resources, so I'll leave the game on overnight or something. So
really, you've got a farm in Metal Gear now?
Say that again?
You've got a farm in Metal Gear now?
You have to get resources to be able to make equipment.
All right.
It's too annoying to explain on the stream, but
sure.
War is about resource control and resources, and this game is it's actually an anti-war game if you really think about it. But
sure.
that in the game, that's part of it. You have to get resources to be able to maintain your base.
Sure. It's starting to sound more and more like StarCraft, man.
It's actually, it's just got the right amount of RPG for me that I really enjoy it. But at the same time, I don't have to. Well, that's not true. You got to grind like a son of a bitch. It's not for everyone. Like,
yeah, it's probably a game that I would actually dig. I actually like grinding in games that require it to a point.
But even the game like that, because you're sneaking, it's a slow game. So everything is kind of slowed down in the game. It's a weird, I don't know. I love it, man.
That's exactly how I built my my character in Cyberpunk. I went everything like sneak, everything stealth, and silenced revolvers with like crazy high levels of crit chance and crit damage, so that I could just like one shot everybody. And so any shot that you made from silence like automatically like doubled crit and crit damage and stuff. And so that was me just sneaking around like just single little pistol shots. That was it. That's how I played the whole game. I didn't even go into like the hacker route. There's like so many like really fun routes and ways you can do it. You can build your character so strong that it's like you've got like automatic like hacking abilities. Basically, you just walk into one room, like the cameras are invisible, and like you automatically hack anybody who's around there, and then just detonate all their grenades. And so like there's some videos, some guy just walks into a room and like you can just see the hack like bouncing between like all the security guards, and all of a sudden all their grenades just blow up, bam, 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 bam. Like it's just gone. It sounds like a fun way to play as well, but I figured I only had like one time for one playthrough, so I went with stealthy pistol assassin.
Yeah, well, even in MGS, I didn't even kill anyone for like maybe like I didn't kill anyone like really go out shooting people. I used mostly trank weapons for the first couple 100 hours of the game.
Yeah,
and then I was like, all right, time to use grenade launcher.
You're like, I'm tired of that. Cyberpunk 2077 dealt with that as well. Like they said that they were going to allow like a full playthrough without killing anybody, which I thought was pretty cool. But basically, it's just like a mod that you put on your weapon that makes it less lethal. You're still running around just like shooting stuff, but they're technically alive.
Less lethal.
It's like,
well, there's an interesting thing in MGS where there's a secret bonus.
Yeah,
it doesn't come up unless you actually do it. It's if you don't pull the trigger at all in the game, if you never press the trigger button.
Wow.
You get extra points. So if you do everything without hurting anyone or leaving a trace, it's actually called no traces.
Bonus. Have you done that yet?
Every single board.
That's awesome.
Except there's two that you can't do without. You have to pull the trigger. But
you are a completionist, man.
I really am. I'm kind of. It's it's like a hobby. Do you know what I mean? Like it becomes something that you just do.
Yeah, this is so you've had a lot more time recently because you guys are in another forced COVID lockdown, right? So
yeah, that's what you get.
Yeah,
it's not that bad for me because the government actually pays me to sit at home. So I'm very lucky. So I'm not complaining so much, though I'm bored.
Yeah. Well,
remember we were shutting down for 2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks to flatten the curve.
Yeah. So I keep thinking about that.
Well, yeah, that was the funny thing because even the idea of flattening the curve was, I mean, the conversation was, okay, we're going to flatten the curve. Like the amount of people that are going to die is going to be the same either way, but we're just going to try and minimize the impact to medical services. But then eventually it came to the point where it's just like, well, actually, what we want to do is like not have people die. But then it was just like, well, which makes sense. But then that went against what they said at the beginning. But whatever. Yeah. COVID stuff.
Politics somewhere along the line. It's interesting.
It did. Imagine that. I mean, politicians bringing politics in. What are they thinking
these days?
Yeah.
No.
Third Eye Boogie VM says that their playtime on Cyberpunk lessened after the first 2 weeks. I still kept playing it pretty strong for like the first month. With the amount of time that I had on it, which is relatively limited. But I knew that I had about enough time to do like one big like mega game like per year. In hindsight, I kind of wish I would have gone with Red Dead Redemption 2. I did enjoy Cyberpunk a lot, but I think I would have.
It's amazing.
I think I would have had more fun in RDR 2. At least it. Like the first Red Dead Redemption, it really felt for me the entire time I was playing it like I actually was in the like American Southwest. It actually really. I mean, just like the local ambience and like the weather and just like the way everything kind of like moved around. And I don't know. At some point in time, like Cyberpunk just felt a little disjointed.
If you like Red Dead, I think you'd like MGS5, man, because it's like that, but with futuristic weapons, kind of.
Oh, I'm sure I would. I mean, I played plenty of Metal Gear Solid back on the day in the original PlayStation. Actually, like I didn't have an original PlayStation, but I had this company came up with a software hack that let like the original iMac run PlayStation games. I don't know if you remember that. It was like then they got sued, of course, but like I've got like that original like disc that allows me to turn my iMac into a PlayStation, and so I was like, well, shoot. So I just got like USB controllers, and I was playing all the PlayStation games and loved it.
Awesome. That's pretty good. See, I played Metal Gear in 1987 or whatever on my Nintendo.
Oh, geez, was there an original Nintendo version? I don't even remember the version on the original.
That's where it started, yeah. And the cover is actually, I don't know if you watch the movie Aliens. If you ever watched that,
I think I've seen that one. Yeah.
Hicks, the guy Hicks. That's him on the cover.
Yeah.
Or no, it's him from Terminator. Pardon me. It's the actor Michael Biehn, but it's him at the beginning of Terminator. And
right.
That's the first style of Snake is actually Michael Biehn. It's like the same military gear he's wearing because the artist just ripped it off from the poster from paused the movie and drew the guy or something.
That's pretty funny. No, I don't remember. I don't remember that game in the original Nintendo. I was a Golgo 13 guy. I was Duke Togo was my man. That was my.
Well, I was just thinking for MGS5, I was like, they need a Golgo 13 mod to turn you into Golgo 13. It'd be the coolest. Because I have one. I have one that turns me to Snake Plissken from Escape from New York, like even his clothes and everything.
Yeah.
And it turns you into Burton from Big Trouble in Little China, Jack Burton.
Nice.
Yeah. And one for Rambo, one that turns you into John Wick.
I think you and I had the same childhood in a lot of ways. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, we're old guys.
Yeah, exactly. Happy want to know if anybody remembers the game Gun originally on the GameCube. Yeah, I did. I had Gun. That was with the GameCube lets you do like the not was it yeah no it was on GameCube. It wasn't on the Wii. Yeah, I played Gun on GameCube. That was enjoyable.
I never had it.
I love westerns. I love western games. I don't know what it is. Cowboys and guns.
You're an American.
I'm not gonna. I can't fight it.
It's weird. I love Courier Dubois stuff. I'm just like canoes and furs.
I love games where you just walk around the woods trapping.
Yeah, I need to. When are they releasing the Reverent game, man?
That was a crazy.
I would actually play the shit out of a Courier Dubois game.
Well, I mean, there's a level of Red Dead that has that in there. I mean, you could spend your time in the woods. You can't. I don't think you had traps, but you could certainly just sit around hunting.
And you're French Canadian, and you sing songs as you canoe.
Somebody mentioned Final Fantasy VII. Did you ever get into the Final Fantasy series? Did you do
play
that?
a little bit. A little bit. Not my friend, a buddy of mine was really into it, and I played a bit at his place. I just like the animation. As a comic book guy, I was like, at that time, that looked amazing.
Yeah, they had really high production values.
I think for N64, what games did I really like? There was that Star Wars fighting game I actually thought was cool that everyone hated, and I thought it was neat.
I did not see. I didn't have an N64. What did I do?
The Empire, I think, was that on there too. That was a good one. When you're Han Solo's buddy, what's his name?
Chewbacca.
Matt Rendar.
Oh, yeah. Right. No, I think I did. I think I did play those. No, I was way behind the curve on game consoles for a while. We milked every penny out of our original NES console for a good decade. We did not get anything else.
Between 1997 and about 2010, I wasn't no technology for me, buddy. I even lived in a house with like 12 hippies. We had no technology. A CD player, that was pretty advanced shit. I had a duffel bag filled with tapes that I still listen to. So
yeah, like around that time, that's when I started. That's when I started working for Microsoft in 1997. So I was like right on the peak of technology stuff. And one of the cool things about working for Microsoft at the Redmond campus is there's an internal classifieds. It's kind of like Craigslist, but it's only available like internally at Microsoft. And it's basically every single person at Microsoft that has a bunch of money and buys the latest technology, like 2 months later, they're like, I'm bored of this. And so they sell it for almost nothing on the internal Microsoft classifieds ad. So I was just like, I was digging through there and I'm like, oh shoot, like I'm gonna buy these like VR goggles in like 1997. Man, I was playing with those for like a long time. No, I used the internal classifieds for everything. So, yeah, I don't think it was actually probably till I think my last big tech job was working for Second Life, and that ended in like 2013. And after that, I got into tea, and so I've actually been much more low tech since then, or just in a different way. I don't have to get the latest gadgets or anything anymore, but
even I'm not usually into video games that much. It takes a bit for me to get into something. So yeah. I don't know. This MGS 5 just
got you.
Yeah, just spoke to me. Did all the stuff I wanted to. The last game that I really liked, my buddy lent me for a few months. He just dropped off his Nintendo Switch and was like, here. And I played Zelda for a while.
And is that Breath of the Wild?
Oh my God, that was like the greatest game I ever played. I was so into it, just so enjoyable.
Did you ever do any of the other Zeldas?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I remember I was from the Nintendo. I had everything, and back then you'd trade with all the other kids, so I'd play every game.
Where would you rate it against?
When a silver and gold cartridge comes out, you're pretty hyped into it when you're 8.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. I still have my Zelda Gold cart somewhere around here.
That's awesome. That's cool.
So where would you rate Breath of the Wild versus Ocarina of Time?
Oh, Ocarina, I haven't played enough. I wouldn't know.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I've only heard really good things about it, which is interesting. Because
yeah, Ocarina of Time is the one that just that's the Zelda one that I just played endlessly. I mean, I told you I didn't have an N64. What I meant was I didn't have an N64 when it was popular to have an N64. Like 8 years later, my friend's like, "Hey, you want this? I'm not going to use it anymore," and then gave me the N64 with like tons of carts, and so I was just like, "Oh my gosh!" Like I was just like,
that's how I got an Xbox.
Went nuts into that. And Ocarina of Time is just well, it looks so dated now, but no, Ocarina of Time just blew my mind. Loved it.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild I was really into. It's like, it was like going around inside my drawings or inside a Miyazaki movie. So I was all about it.
Yeah, I was I mentioned this, I can't remember, it was last stream or there was another stream where I mentioned is it Shiamoto? Who's the designer for those games? He talked about the problem with modern game designers is none of them have actually, or not many of them have actually spent much time in the real world. I mean, he he as a kid like ran around chasing chickens. He as a kid like spent time in the forest imagining like these trees are like these, you know, like giant like, you know, beings and things like that. And so when he builds his games, he's able to make it what he you know, based literally on the experiences that he had in the real world. And he's noticed like a shift in game making to be more just has a different approach to it. And I thought that was an interesting. His suggestion basically was like go outside and play for a while.
That makes sense. It's like there's the Miyazaki thing where he's talking to some animators and they animate a dog and he's like, have you ever seen a dog? You know, like, what's wrong with you people? And I think about that a lot because there's I think that's within everything, you know, like a lot of people lack some kind of experience to be able to relate to things.
Sure. Yeah. No, that makes that totally makes sense. I had similar criticism when I entered into an art contest as a kid, and I drew like a lion in the mountains or something like that. And actually, I found it sitting back here. It doesn't look anything like a lion because I just drew what I thought a lion looked like, but I should have actually looked at an actual lion for some sort of reference.
I remember my art teacher in high school. We were drawing the cabinets at the back of the classroom, like, you know, to do some life drawing kind of thing. And I remember this girl's drawing and my teacher saying, okay, so he was a British guy. I won't do his accent, but he's like, you know, what's missing here? And she's like, oh, I don't know. And he's like, come on, look at the cupboard and look at your drawing and tell me what is not in the drawing that should be. And she's like, I just don't see it. And he snapped and he was like, the fucking hinges. Which is amazing. He was like an old punk rocker guy who turned to an art teacher. So he was really solid. One of my favorite teachers you can imagine as a kid. I had
a lot of crazy art teachers. They were always, I'd love to see where they are now. That'd be pretty funny.
I'm sure Mr. Scoble has gone to the art class in the sky.
Probably.
He was pretty old. When I met him, he was probably like 60. But he was a roadie for punk bands and stuff. Like back in the day, he told me he invented taping down wires to the stage, and I was like, "Get out of here!" And he's like, "No, before that, everyone was just tripping and foaming." I don't know if that's true, man.
It could have been, man. Maybe he was there at that time.
He was like gaffer's tape. I'm the man, and I don't know.
Somebody had to be the first, man.
And I just imagine punk rocker, like a punk rocker who's into safety seems like that's the stupidest thing ever.
Safety third, mate.
I would do that, but it's not quite safe enough for me. It's just too much.
Oh, that was I watched a funny YouTube video the other day about it was some kids in Finland. I don't mean like kids. They were like young adults. They actually like work in a laboratory that studies explosions, or I don't know, some chemical laboratory or something. And they were testing what type of hand grenade shape and design would work best to blow holes through concrete walls. And it was like the safest, almost boring level video that you'd ever seen. And like the first comments are like, you know, if this was any other country in the world, I'd be really worried. But like, I think these guys seem really safe.
Health and safety is really great there.
Yeah, it's just like any other place they'd just be like pulling a pin and throwing it in a room, and these guys was very 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 scientific, very very safe, super safe. But
how's the tea?
No, I'm liking it, man. This thing's it's a little bit stronger than I remembered it. It's got some legs. How about you?
Do you get the feeling in your throat and stuff like not like this sweet, not the huigan or whatever. It's like I can't describe it. It's like a weird, sounds gross, but like a mucusy kind of feeling. Like
it's just kind of getting thick in your throat.
Yeah, like thick and I don't know. It's good. I really like it though. It's like a positive. It's hard to explain.
It's a little bit richer than I remember it in the last sessions that I've had it. That could be because I'm drinking it in a Gen John, which just kind of thickens everything up. But
how many grams did you put in there, and how much water does it hold?
This is a 150 ml pot, almost exactly, and I've got 10 grams in there. So 1 to 15 is my it's my window. That's my ratio.
I'm about 120 mil and 7 and change.
Somewhere about the same then. You doing any new art stuff? You've been spending any time doing doing art?
Not really. I did a couple of like small gigs for people, but funny enough, I've been, being in lockdown has kind of put me in a weird depression kind of thing, and I haven't been creating that much art. But because funny enough, like we were just talking, my art comes from my life, and not having a life makes it so I'm not very creative. But I started working on a new comic idea. It's like an old character that I did one kind of story about, and I've decided to go back to his past. And funny enough, it's pretty much inspired by Escape from New York and Metal Gear Solid and stuff. It's an infiltration story, because he is actually, the story was the character is when the story I did of him before is like him after he's retired, when he's an older guy. And now I'm going to do a story from when he's younger, when he's actually a soldier. So in the later story, he's a retired soldier who becomes a thief, like a cat burglar kind of guy.
Right.
But this story will be when he was infiltrating kind of SWAT unit guy, or whatever you want to call it.
That's kind of cool. I know what you mean by being influenced by what's in your life. I found the same thing in just all of the T names that are jumping into my head now are all like cyberpunk related. Like just because that's what I've been doing the most of recently, or thinking the most of, and so I've got different cyberpunk thought processes for T's and things. So.
Well, I went through and I started watching all the movies I could that made me think of like Metal Gear and stuff, like to try and get inspired. Like I watched Captain America, Winter Soldier.
Sure. Okay.
To me, that's a great spy movie. It's not even a superhero movie. It's just a dope spy movie.
Yeah.
I dig it. Escape from New York, Escape from LA, Guns of Navarone.
There we go. Now you're getting into my. I've been on a weird World War II movie-ish kick lately for some reason.
You watch the show Big Brothers or Band of Brothers?
Actually, I did not. I didn't watch that. Didn't watch that show. Should I get on that?
It's one of my favorite war programs, and I'm like, as a pacifist too. Remember?
Yeah.
And it is. The actors in it are tops, man. Everybody, even what's Marky Mark's brother's name?
Wahlberg.
Yeah, Donnie Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Donnie Wahlberg plays the sergeant in it.
Okay.
And he is incredible. He's so good. Each episode kind of follows one of the soldiers in a platoon.
Yeah.
And it starts with their training and ends with them at the Eagle's Nest.
Okay.
So like I recommend it. It was so moving and beautiful.
I'll have to check it out. I remember hearing really good reviews, but I never watched it. It was on HBO exclusively, right?
Yeah, I had the box set back in the day.
I rewatched the other day.
There's a great bit. They're trying to get into a village in France.
Yeah.
And there's one group of soldiers is on, like the Americans are split into two groups. And one group is on one side of the village and one group is on the other. And the village is filled with Nazis.
Yeah.
And they have to communicate with the other group. And one of the guys says, okay, and just runs through the village. Straight up, just runs directly through. And all the Germans just watch him run by. Because they're like, they can't believe what they're seeing. And they're like, what? And they watch him run back. And then the guy says, and you think that's the crazy part. Crazy part is, he came back. And you see the guy do it, come running back through, and all the soldiers still are like, "What the? Was ist das?"
I'll have to check that out.
It's a really good though, because it's the realism in it is moving.
Yeah.
Like watch it.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
If you like World War II shit, you'll dig it.
What did I watch? What did I watch the other day? Where Eagles Dare with Clint Eastwood.
Yeah,
love that.
Class.
Love that. All of the Alistair McLean stuff. I was the big Alistair McLean fan as a kid. But I'll check that one out for sure.
I think I was a huge fan. Like it's too bad my dad had passed away by the time I got it, because I was like, oh, my dad would have loved the shit out of this. My dad was like,
back in the day, they used to have war documentaries on in the afternoon on Saturdays, and me and my dad would watch them together. My dad was even in, like, he was a soldier and stuff in Britain.
Yeah.
He got a marksman award and that sort of thing. My dad was an interesting fellow,
Nice.
old Scott. But he loved World War II stuff. He just forced me, like, to the point where when I took a history class that was all like World War II and stuff, and I didn't even have a notebook, and I got 89. So
yeah,
I was like, I had just grown
in
up
your
with
blood.
all. Yeah.
Third
now,
Eye Boogie.
now I can't remember anything now. Now I'm like, where's Vimy Ridge? Like I don't care. But
The Battle of Verdun, like which war was that? Like I don't know. Yeah.
But that's exactly what happens. I'm like, where is the Battle of Waterloo was a day, wasn't it? You know, like I'm trying to remember all these weird history notes, and not just like I like history, but I also get confused easily. So
yeah, I hear you. Well, there's just so much of it.
It's funny because history you get more every day.
Somebody wanted to know if we've watched Kong and Godzilla. I've not watched it.
No, I haven't. I haven't watched it. Well, like the old one.
No. Oh yeah, like the original Mothra level one. I've probably seen that, but no, I haven't seen the new one.
No, I shall watch it though.
They said that they probably would give it a 5 or a 6 out of 10. This is a Third Eye Boogie VM.
I'm going to assume it's going to be crap, but I'll watch. The last Godzilla movie pissed me right off. I'm like, you can't call a movie Godzilla and then wait an hour and 20 minutes into the movie before you show his foot. Like, I'm out.
I don't think I've seen or maybe I did. I don't think I've seen a Godzilla movie since the
90s one.
Jean Reno, the one.
With that's the worst one too. He's great. I like Jean Reno in anything.
I love Jean Reno. And I love Jean Reno's Elvis accent that he uses to like get past the security guard. Like that was the funniest thing. They're all like, "What's gonna happen?" He just pretends he's Elvis.
Solid. I like Jean Reno a lot actually. When I was a kid, I really liked a movie called The Big Blue.
Le Grand Bleu.
It's what's his name? The guy who did Fifth Element.
Yeah, he did everything. Yeah, what's his face? And he also did Professional. Luc Besson. Yeah.
Because he did that and La Femme Nikita and all these movies that I really liked back in the day. But that The Big Blue, for some reason, when I was a kid, I saw it on TV and just fell in love with the movie. And it's weird. When I watched it again when I was older, I was like, what kind of kid was I, man? Like, why did I like this movie? It's about free divers, guys who just hold their breath and dive underwater. And like at the end, I think the guy became a dolphin or some shit. I don't know.
But, like I liked that. I liked that movie as well, and also just I don't know why. I like the ocean though. I like oceans and diving and stuff. But whatever.
I don't know why I liked it so much as a kid. Like I know why I liked Empire of the Sun because I was like into World War II shit. But I'm like, I didn't know anything about free diving. Kid from Ontario. I don't know anything about the Mediterranean.
Yeah, the only reson I watched that movie was because it was Luc Besson and Jean Reno.
Luc Besson Speedos is what had me, I guess.
everyone's gonna go and Google Big Blue right after this.
Yeah, they'll be like Luc Besson Luc Besson, Jean Reno Speedos. They'll be looking at what? Oh my god.
What was the other one that I haven't seen in a while that I like? That one where he goes, he's a knight and goes back in time, or he comes into the future because somebody.
Oh yeah. What is that? Him and there's that other French. They're in. Yeah, what is that called?
That's a hilarious one.
I forgot all about that movie.
Man. I don't remember that one. He's really funny in that. I like that. I need to watch that again. It's great because like Lamo literally has not had any Western cultural influence nearly in her entire life, and so I can rewatch movies that I have seen and grown up in love, and I get to show them to her because she's literally never seen anything.
And then she watches them and looks at you confused, like, "Why the fuck do you like this?"
The funny thing is, she never does. Like, I nearly every single thing that I like, she generally likes it too. It's awesome.
Oh, she's sweet to lie to you like that.
Maybe she is. I don't know. She's
Only kidding. I don't know. I find it funny too. Sometimes you talk to someone about something I really love, and then I'm like, wait, You shouldn't watch it though. I think you'll hate it. I don't know if you'll like Beastmaster. It's just not for everybody.
Yeah, it's basically the same way with my mom. I don't know what it was. Like I was like describing like the plot of like some episode of the Witcher or something, and mom's like, "Hey, that sounds cool," and I'm like, "No, don't, no, you're not gonna trust me. You're not gonna want to watch it." And then she's like, "Okay, I won't." So she knows now. But then she's always like, "So why are you watching it then?" And I'm like, "Well, because I liked it, but like I know you're not going to, so and that's okay. It's okay." Oh, let's see what we got. What we can chat. Oh yeah, Third Eye Boogie VM says there's nothing subliminal in King Kong versus Godzilla. It's in your face. Yeah, I guess. I mean that was the whole point about all the original Godzilla and kaiju stuff. I mean it was very like anti-war and anti-nuclear research and all that stuff. I mean they've never hidden that plot line from those movies.
No, I think they kind of they tried to reinterpret it with the last one, trying to make him like a force of nature instead of like a genetic anomaly.
Yeah,
it's a weird interpretation. I get the idea, but at the same time, I'm like, stick with a giant lizard, man.
Just what about Pacific Rim? I enjoy that one.
I saw it in the theater. I remember me and my buddy went to see it, and then the next day we were talking to people, and they were like, "That was dumb," and I was just like, "Did you go see the same movie?"
Yeah.
Because like, what did you expect? Like an Oscar-winning film, man? Because I went in to see robots punching monsters, and I got that times 1,000.
My favorite part of that was the dude from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. What's that kid's name?
Yeah.
Him as the scientist, and that was great. I love that guy. He's so funny.
I agree. I like the dialogue is terrible. The movie is like it's terrible, but I like the stuff. You know, like. It was just really funny because someone complaining to me about it. I was just like, well, I don't know what you went to see because I don't know what you expected out of this.
Show everybody your Tetsubine. People want to see it. Jugpan says you got it's pretty cool. I think you probably showed it on the last stream, but it's all good.
So that is my iron kettle.
Oh, look at that, man! That's gorgeous.
And this is the other side. So on one side, there's a mushroom, and on the other side is a village with a little boat and a river and a waterfall.
That's really cool, man. That's really cool.
Yeah.
How old is that one?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
It was given to me by a friend. She, there's my tea teacher has a tea shop called the Chinese Tea Shop here in Vancouver. And when we sit there and have tea, you make friends. You end up like talking to everyone. And there's a woman who comes in all the time. And I guess she heard me saying that I was looking for an iron kettle.
Yeah.
And so the next time I was there, she showed up and she was like, "Oh, hi, here," and gave me a bag and said, "Oh, I got to go," and just walked out the door. And she gave me that kettle, man.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Cool, but
it's great when T-Ware kind of like finds homes and stuff like that. Everyone in the chat right now is like, "Oh my gosh, you got that!" That's pretty cool. You're definitely putting good use to it.
Oh, I wish I could show you the inside. It's actually I use spring water in it, so it's all white on the inside.
Oh wow!
They've got a mineral buildup, which is really good for the iron and even better for the tea, baby.
Nice, man. We had a really fun stream 2 weeks ago with these guys that are doing a lot of crafted water. So they actually sent me their water concentrate that they make, and I mixed it up here with distilled water, and we actually drank the exact same tea using the exact same specially crafted water. They call it truth serum. That was pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool. That was an intense water.
So, like, explain. It's like a packet of like the solubles or something.
Well, they actually pre-mixed it exactly with all of the stuff. They've got these recipes that they create online. They're probably sitting there in chat right now. Max, Arby, if you guys are in chat, let me know. If not, it's all good. But they're from the Discord. They've been doing a lot of like really cool tea research stuff, definitely from a scientific perspective. And so they've been coming up with these water recipes, and then like testing them out, sending the recipe to other people, and then people can like sit there and like they can build the concentrate and actually make their own water. And it was the reason why they called it truth serum is because They didn't specifically build it to make the tea taste better. They built it in such a way that they thought it actually revealed like the honesty in the tea, and so it actually like the tea can't hide anything. And like I found that out the same way because we're drinking a 2018 Wildwood, one of our teas, which is actually a pretty dense tea. It's a really complex tea, and this just like added like 5 layers of complexity. It was just like it's like the tea is like this is everything I've been hiding, and just like dumped it out in every single cup. It was really confusing. You can watch me in the stream just kind of be like, I don't even know what to make of this tea. It was pretty.
Send me a link when we're done this.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff.
It sounds interesting. That sounds like a cool.
Yeah, I really like their approach. Just kind of working through things scientifically, experimenting with stuff, putting all their variables online. People can download different water recipes. They're like, hey, like this is what we find works really good for this type of shung. This is what we find works really good for this type of show, and then people can take it and tweak it and make their own little recipes and stuff.
Lou, you would be proud of them.
Absolutely, I absolutely would. Kind of sitting there working through things analytically and yeah, really fun.
You're like, if you're not on the mountain, what's the point?
Yeah. So what's your new comic book project? What's it called?
Oh, nothing yet. It's just
No
just
name?
right now. It's in the idea stage. I'm just like bumbling through ideas.
Gotcha. Are you thinking of making it like an entire bound volume?
So far in my head, it's 2 issues.
Okay.
It's infiltration and escape.
Okay.
So one part will be him getting to the like facility and getting into it, and the second book will be him getting out.
That sounds like fun. Are you gonna you got a rough timeline on it, or you just spitballing it?
Just spitballing it. Just everything's rough. I just I only started even thinking about it like a month ago, kind of thing. I'm just writing down notes when it comes to me right now. So like the last one I based on Alfred Hitchcock movie, To Catch a Thief.
Yeah.
It was loosely the last one I did about this character. His name's Dismas, which is a thief from the Bible, just in case you're interested. So I based it on that Hitchcock movie. So it's the same kind of idea as like there's someone who's doing some robberies, and they're in the style of this cat burglar, but it's not him. So he has to find out who the thief is. Hence the name of the movie is called To Catch a Thief.
Right.
It takes a thief to catch a thief is the full saying. And in fact, one of the chapters of the story I did is called It Takes a Thief, because it was like a direct reference to say, hey man, I like this Hitchcock movie a lot.
That's pretty cool.
I'm a huge Cary Grant fan, and he's the man.
Yeah, I like the old Hitchcock stuff. It just had a style that belied the time it came from. It just
I like when he has humor in it. He has like a certain tone of humor I really like. He's a strange dude though. You know, he didn't like eggs, that the yellow in eggs made him think of blood. He's just a weird dude. He also didn't like policemen very much.
Yeah, he is.
But who does?
We watched Lamo and I watched, speaking of like thieves and things like that, we watched what was that French mini series, Lupin. They did a
I haven't watched the new one they did, right?
Yeah, it's well, we watched it, dubbed in English, and there's a little bit of a
I like Lupin the Third, the old the Miyazaki.
Yeah, no, this one, I mean, I appreciated the take that they did on it. It took me a minute to kind of get used to kind of how they were doing with it, and the dub kind of like creates like a little bit of a separation and stuff. But if it's like in French, then there's like too much English for Lamu to read, and so it makes it a little.
Oh right, yeah, so that makes sense.
I generally like to watch stuff, just subbed with the original words and stuff. But when I'm watching with her, so no, it was. I thought they had some fun with it. I like thief style, heist style.
Yeah, me too.
Fun stuff.
Me too. I've been meaning to watch it because I like the character of Lupin. Like he's the gentleman thief. I love that old story. There's a great old movie with what's his name, Wallace. He what is that called? There's a great old caper movie where a guy takes over a place to steal from it, but then befriends the people he's like robbing. I wish I could remember the name right now. It doesn't make any sense me talking about it without being able to remember the name.
Yeah,
it's got William Powell in it. William Powell's a great actor from the 1930s kind of thing.
Okay, so it's an older one.
Oh my God, this is a really old movie. Like if you ever see the Thin Man movies?
It's been a while. Yeah.
They're old movies from the 30s about a detective, and that's the actor in it, William Powell. I would suggest if you like to actually be entertained by fun movies, I would watch those because that's what they are.
Sure.
They're like classic. They have just like the great jokes in it. Like, hey, he's a detective in it, and the guy says to his wife, "Oh, Nick working on a new case," and she's like, "Yeah, a case of scotch. Why don't you go help him?" You know, like it's got all this great dialogue in it. It's
no, those really are fun. I'll have to check those out. Michael in chat says a lot more off-topic chat on today's episode. Well, if this is basically what Alchemichael and I do, and we sit down and just chat about whatever jumps into our head.
What do you want to talk about?
What do you want to talk about, Michael Snow? Yeah, you guys throw some comments out there. Ro wants to know how the Chinese tea shop's doing.
I think Daniel's doing pretty well, but he does pretty good off internet sales, and they're to my knowledge he's still open. My hours have been messed up, so I haven't seen him in a few weeks, so I'm not exactly sure how well he's doing. The shop where I work has closed down because of we still sell loose leaf tea and that sort of thing, but closed down for service.
Okay.
I don't know, but Daniel does pretty good even on internet stuff because he has a particular customer base, you know.
Yeah, I pinged Daniel. I sent him a message, see if he wanted to hop on a tea stream, but he didn't get back to me. Maybe he didn't get the message or something like that.
Next time I see him, I'll bug him about it and see if he wants.
You're like, hey man, how come you haven't gone on Glenn's stream yet? It'd be fun.
Yeah, I'll ask him. I won't harass him too much, but I'll ask him.
Yeah, you can't harass him, and I didn't want to harass him either. But yeah, we've got some a fun schedule for the stream the rest of the month. James from TDB, he was on an episode a while back, but everybody immediately asked where Denny was. That was his partner in Tea Crime, and so we're actually going to do a stream with James and Denny on the stream at the same time, which will be fun.
They're really knowledgeable.
Knowledgeable.
I think I watch most of James's. I like the in-between episodes for some reason.
Yeah.
That's what I like. Tasting stuff, I'm like, if I can't taste it, I'm not so interested. But I like when he's talking about, everything from buying stuff on Taobao to these are my teapots. This is why I like teapots or whatever. Yeah, I like James. He seems real like a good cat.
Yeah, they're both good cats.
Oh, Denny seems fine too. Don't talk that dude.
I don't know. Denny wasn't into it on the first stream, but then now everyone's just like, how come you didn't bring Denny on the stream? And I'm like, well, Denny, you gotta come on now. And so we worked it out. So we're gonna send them. They're gonna drink some of our tea, and then James actually sent me some of a tea that he really likes, and so we're kind of like do both on the stream and kind of be able to taste them back and forth, which will be kind of fun. And what else we got? Pedro from 05, he's gonna do a little. Yeah, he's gonna do something with us. He's gonna send us some of his bada bada cha with one of his little double cha send whisks.
On my birthday, Daniel and me and my wife and my buddy all went to 05 after closing, and he made us fancy and rare tea.
That's
want to see something cool? Here's something tea related.
Yeah, let's see something cool
for your buddy Michael there. So a friend of mine dropped this off for me. This is a Japanese green tea from around 1920, 1930.
Dude, that is the weirdest thing that you should mention that to me right now, because a friend of mine just sent me a message and he's like, hey, I've got this old box, like a big wooden box. He's like, I was clearing out a house, they didn't want it anymore. I've got this big giant box, and on the side of the box it says Japan basket fired tea, and like imported by some company, Portland in Seattle, and the box has got to be like from the 1800s. It's just a big, huge. There's no tea in it, but it's just a big, giant, empty wooden box.
Oh, too bad it doesn't have the tea in it, man. That's what the guy who got this, he actually found a place that had a box filled with old tea, and he bought the whole crate. So I thought when he said, "Oh, I'll give you some," I thought he was just going to give me a little bit, not an unopened package. So thank you, Adam, if you ever see this.
That's pretty awesome, man. That's really cool. 1920s, huh?
I don't know if you noticed throughout this thing, I've been saying, yeah, someone gave me that. People are really cool to me. So
everybody in chat's all pissed at you now. They're like, "How do you get all this tea?"
Yeah, you got to be a cool guy.
It's got to be a cool guy. That's right.
Good luck on that one.
That's
right. I don't know how you do that. Yeah, I don't know. People just always give me stuff. They're always like sharing.
Nice. Yeah, I get we get a decent number of stuff from our customers. If Roe's still in the chat, he gave me some tea from 1990 something or another that I have not had a chance to open or try yet. I promise, Roe, we'll get to it. We've Llama and I have been really busy trying to craft some new blends. We got to get Dark Depths redone, and we got to get Altered State redone, and it takes up a lot of our tea drinking hours in a given day. But yeah, we'll get. I don't think did you get a chance to try Dark Depths? Dark Depths is it's a show pour, really, really good.
What was the one you guys had? Black Gold?
Black Gold, yeah, that's pretty nice. A pretty nice show pour.
Really good. I had that, and that was pretty good. I think I actually got some of that from what's his face? Proust, Liquid Proust.
Right. Yeah, he does all sorts of cool old stuff. Apparently Rose says that you know this tea. This is it's from the Chinese tea shop. 1990s Purple Moon.
Oh, that's what's it actually called?
I don't know.
What is it?
Dongjing? Qinghao.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. I have it. I have my cake. It's
nice.
That's a really good tea. One of my wife's favorites. She's actually now digging through looking for it.
She's gonna find it. She's gonna toss it.
No, that's not it.
That's not it.
Ding Jinghao, I think it's called.
Interesting. Yeah. No, that's cool. Okay, so yeah, you know what that tea is. I'll have to Llama and I'll have to make a little session with it.
That tea itself is like an homage cake.
Yeah.
To, a cake from the like classical period of pu'er Ming Cha. So it's a what do they call it? Like a celebration cake. It's to be like the old one.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you see, Changtai does stuff like that every now and then. They'll really actually a lot of shops will do things like that every now and then.
I have a brick of some stuff from the 90s. That's the doing the same kind of thing to Kuyi Jing, a brick of tea from back in the 40s.
Nice.
But this is like late 90s version. It's pretty good. It's
nice.
It ain't the stuff from the 40s, but
sure. I'll you got to check it out. He even Ro even put his fancy stamp on the back there in wax.
Yeah, you got a letter from the king.
Got a letter King Ro. It's awesome. Yeah, I'll get to it. We'll get to it. It's just too many teas.
It's a good one. Do it in the evening, on a cool evening, and you'll like it.
Okay. We actually got a bunch of tea from Liquid Proust as well. I traded a pair of Crimson Lotus hot pant leggings and a Crimson Lotus hoodie for a couple packs of old tea. And so he's been. I was telling you about this last night, but yeah, people in the chat, if you guys know Liquid Proust, check out his Instagram. He's wearing a pair of the Crimson Lotus leggings that we gave him. So.
Oh, it looks like my battery's gonna die, buddy.
Oh no! What time? How much time you got?
I'm at 15%.
Technology.
And the way I have it set up, I can't plug it in. So we'll see how long I get off this.
We'll go as long as you got.
Yeah, if it suddenly cuts out, then we're done. Yeah, but it should tell me beforehand.
Yeah, we'll go as long as the battery allows. That'll be a really good way to figure out how long the world wants us to do this tea.
Oh yeah, so that old tea, that green tea, I actually have a bunch of old tea. I have stuff from the 40s and from the 30s and from the 20s all packed away in here.
That's cool, man. Have you have you tried any of the because that 20s one that one was sealed, right?
Yeah, it's sealed. I haven't even tried it yet. I kind of can't bring myself to open the seal.
Well, I was just curious if you had tried it from any or tried his or any of the other ones.
But I've had some older green teas like that. The
Yeah.
truth is that they kind of just taste like pu'er.
Well, it's not that one. They didn't do plastic sealing back then, right? So it's been sealed since then.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just paper.
Oh,
Just
okay.
paper wrap.
Okay. Oh, I thought there was like a plastic wrapper on the outside.
God,
of it.
no.
It looked a little shiny or something. So
It's got like a kind of like a silvery foily thing to it on one side. But
so the box. My friend, he's actually going to be bringing the box over any time now. He didn't want it, so he was going to let me have it. I'll send you some pictures of it. They were actually foil lined, so like wood and then foil lined on the inside to kind of give it a seal. And so then I assume that they would take things that probably look exactly like that and just stack them in there and pack them and close it and lock it down and stuff, nail it down or something. So yeah, that'll be
it's interesting. The old green tea takes on a flavor something like Sheng Pu'er. Like it's interesting. I'm one of the things I really love about tea is the transitions that it goes through when it ages, and it has phases even within the year. Do you know?
Yeah.
And I love all of that, and I'm a big fan of the old tea flavor.
Yeah.
Do you know? That age flavor is really specific and very interesting to me. And I like, even when I got that green tea, my boss was like, "Oh, are you going to make it so we can try it?" And I was like, "I don't think you'll like it. Like, it's not something," because she doesn't like, I make tea for her a lot, so I kind of know what she likes.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, because even one day, one of the guys I worked with, he had never seen traditional Chow Joe style tea made.
Yeah.
So I brought the stuff to make that, like from the teapot to the 3 cups kind of thing, the very old school way. So I brought that stuff in to make for him. And it makes really strong tea. And my boss was like, "Oh, can I have a cup?" And I was like, "You're not going to like it." And she was like, "No, it'll be fine." And she hated it because it was very strong. I made a really strong da hong pao.
Yeah, as you should. What does Rose say here in the chat? Michael, by the way, that 1990s vintage shung you recommended to me a while back, it's freaking amazing. Super complex. So.
Oh, good. It was the vintage 1990s stuff from Daniel. In fact, I think this is this one. I got a jar of it.
Nice. Look at that jar, man. That's awesome.
It's kind of a crappy jar. It's from some American company that was trying to make Chinese style stuff, but I got it for $5 at a used store. So.
It looks good, man.
I think it looks kind of cheesy, but whatever. Yeah.
What would you prefer it looked like?
Blank.
Oh, like, just blank.
I found this one in a store the other day.
Yeah.
Like that.
That's really nice. What's the lid? Does it have a lid?
It doesn't have a lid, so I just put it.
Oh, nice. Gotcha. Perfect.
But, sometimes I use an old teacup to be the lid if I don't have anything, because I don't mind, because I'm usually storing pu'er. I don't care if there's some air in it or that sort of thing.
How are you gonna get the tea in that? That's a pretty tiny little hole.
Well, you just break it up all nicey nice.
Okay.
And loose leaf. I would use loose leaf mostly for it.
Okay. Yeah, just take the loose leaf, just crush it all up, shove it in there.
Yeah, just turn it into powder.
Just powder it up, powdered pu'er. Well, that's if you wanna drink tea the real Liu Yu way. I mean, he just crushed everything up, and basically made matcha.
When I was saying with Pedro made Ming Dynasty style tea when we were there, almost like a pu'er or a green tea, and then he roasted that and then broke it into powder and made powdered like a matcha for us.
Awesome. Yeah, I can't wait. He'll actually be doing the stream like from his shop live, which
he's a really cool dude, man.
I like Pedro a lot. Yeah,
way more entertaining than me because he's very excited. He's a fun guy. His shop is really interesting. 05 is it's cool, man. It's very cool shop. It's stylish. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I like all the burnt wood.
Yeah, it's done like a bar. If anyone listening or watching, they want to know. It's
Yeah.
more like a kind of like a Western bar, and you sit at, and they serve you the tea.
Yeah,
It's pretty
Google that up. 05T.
Yeah, not my personal style because I'm more, like I said, kind of traditional, but it's still very cool.
So we're also what else we got this month? In two or 3 weeks, I've got Shar. Shar Oolong Owl. She's gonna be back on again, but she's gonna be on with our friend Janet. Janet's worked at our booth at the tea festival sometimes. Both of them are like super susceptible to tea energy, and so I figured we would do Altered State and Stormbreaker like back to back, and I just want to watch people. I just want people to watch them get insanely tea drunk on the stream.
I think it was Stormbreaker you were making at the tea festival one year, and everyone was like, "Geez," they were all blown away by it.
Yeah, Stormbreaker's pretty. Stormbreaker's brutal. That's Char calls it a storm wrecker. So. No, that's gonna be a lot of fun because both of them have just a really awesome like tea energy reaction. So we'll just have them both on the stream at the same time in different windows, and we'll just plow through the tea and brew it as strong as possible, and just kind of see where it goes, see where it takes us. So Ty's just popping back in. Sorry if it's been asked already for Alchemichael. How's the kettle? Yeah, we did talk about the kettle. That's his iron Tetsubean. He says it's super crystallized with all the minerals that have dried out on the inside of it, and so he said it makes this tea super awesome. So also if you're just tuning in, Michael's phone is running out of battery, so it will be
12%.
12%. So we've got 12% of his battery left for any questions, conversation, anything that we haven't covered already. You guys gotta. Ask your questions now. The juice is running.
Yeah. What else is going on? Nothing. I know nothing else I can think of. Tea related. I have to get back into doing some repair work. I haven't done it in a little while, but
well, it's hard with your aggressive Metal Gear Solid gaming schedule. It's hard to.
That's the truth.
It's hard to have time for. It's basically like having a child, man. That's your kid.
Well, the truth is I need like a kind of like a space to work.
Oh, yeah.
I have to use my bathroom, and I have to wait till like my wife's asleep or out of the house because the
fumes,
the urushi can be very toxic, like poison oak.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get it on Jackie or my cat or anything. So I gotta be a little safe about it. So
yeah, you gotta be really safe about that. That's dangerous.
So it kind of makes it a pain in the ass to do the work. Although I do enjoy doing it.
Did I tell you when I got urushi poisoning from playing shakuhachi flute that hadn't fully cured?
No,
that was not good. So they used the same lacquer on the Japanese flutes, the shakuhachi, and it was a newly manufactured one, and I don't think it had fully dried. Something about and maybe like it was in a humid area, and I think some of it came out. I didn't hardly play the flute at all, but immediately like my mouth started feeling a little buzzy and stuff, and I just got like really like a really strong like reaction in my throat. My throat started closing up. I was sick for like a week. It was I got better, but that was
Jesus.
That was not good. That urushi stuff is really rough.
Yeah, that's one of the worries. That's why I'm a little safe about it, because I'm trying not to. Truth is, it actually needs humidity to dry. So maybe it was in a place that didn't have humidity.
That could make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird. It's a weird material to work with, but it's pretty fun.
Yeah. I wonder who was the first person to figure that out. Like let's take this like horribly dangerous stuff that just rub it onto flutes.
That's one I'm working on right now. That's almost done.
Nice. Look at that. So what's the next step that you have to do on that?
I'm actually going to sand off some of that silver and reapply. Okay. And then I have to add some more, do some fills on the inside of it.
Okay.
And I'm doing that one because it's my boss's teapot, but like in all the teapots in the shop, that was one I really liked. And then we closed down for months, or at least I wasn't there. And then when I went back, I found that broken, and I was just, what the heck? So I was like, I'm just going to fix this for you. And I took it home to fix.
Nice.
I'm hoping she'd forget about it, but she didn't. So I got to fix it.
Where's that teapot? Have you fixed it yet?
Yeah, I kind of hoping she'd just be like, what? Oh, what teapot? Whatever.
It's too bad. Too bad.
Yeah, if you could feel it, it's very light and very thin. It's a really well-made teapot.
What
It's really nice.
what tea do you use it for?
She used that for a pu'er, like
Really?
aged pu'er.
Okay, all right. I generally like my my pu'er pots to be a little bit thicker walled. Some of the super thin walled stuff, I've got one or two around. I don't know, for my uses, it didn't seem like.
Oh, actually, she used it for younger tea, I think, because she
Okay.
doesn't drink that much. Most of the tea I think she's drinking is from like 2000s, and she likes more of a fresher, flowery flavor, I think.
Okay.
Whereas I like a danker,
I like-
dirtier.
I like the dank. I do. I like something. I like. It's got to be dank. It's got to be chunky. This tea will get there.
I like the fertile, earthy flavor. You know.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is nice. Like, I don't drink young Sheng pu'er very often, so this is a nice treat, but it's not something I drink that.
Yeah, you
much.
guys missed it. Pre-stream, we got to watch him unbox the tongue that this came in. So
I got that.
we should have actually done that. We should have done that on stream. We should have had it popped open.
I couldn't. I thought I had an open Bing Chaw somewhere around here, but I couldn't find it.
You must have drank it all.
I give it away. I give it to people too because they're like, "Whoa,
That's
you
nice.
made a tea?" I'm like, "Well, I did the wrapper. Here, try the tea."
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's nice, man. It's nice to share. It's nice to share tea. It's one of the I don't know. I enjoy that. Even though we sell tea, I still like to give people tea.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of being able to like that. You let me design them, so for me, it's a lot of fun. I like the I don't know, just like another notch in my belt. It's pretty cool. And people are like, "Oh, what you fix teapots and you design wrappers? What?" Mostly Chinese people can't understand. They're like, "What the heck? What? You're the whitest guy I've ever seen, though." Like, I know.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely get the same reaction. Even if I'm in China and I pour with a guy one, they're like, only Chinese people know how to do that. Like,
yeah, that's it. I'd say one of my favorites was when I first got the job at the tea house. It was for like a big fancy grand opening of the tea house. They brought me in as like an extra server kind of thing. But at the end, the guy who did all the lighting was like packing up as I was like putting my teapots away and everything. And he just came over and he was like, I'm sorry, I don't want to insult you or anything, but you're not Chinese. And I was like, I know, joking around with him. And he's like, no, but when you make tea, so Chinese. And I was like, hey, thanks, man. That's really cool.
It is pretty funny. There's this, I finally figured one thing out. There's something that gets lost in translation just a little bit. This, because Lamo will translate things from people all the time. There's like the question is just like, do you know how to, like they're surprised. They're like, oh, I'm surprised that you know how to drink tea. In English, it's just like, well, I mean, drinking tea is not hard. I mean, it's like you sip it and you drink it. But I think, and that's literally how it's transliterated. But what they really mean is that like, know how to like appreciate tea or something like that is what they're really trying to say. And sometimes they'll be like, oh, like I'm Chinese, but even I don't know how to drink tea. And I'm like, it's at first it's always just like, well, yes, I know you, but and they got to try and figure out I know what they mean, but yeah. That's
I get that a lot. Like, wow, you know more than I do. And I'm like, well, I'm a tea person. Like, I'm sure there's stuff I don't know anything about. You know about cars? Because I don't know anything at all.
Nothing. You don't know anything about cars,
including the steering wheel. That's it. That's all I know of cars.
I found there's something that you and I don't have the same appreciation for. I like cars. Muscle cars.
My wife is the man in the house.
she's the car person.
Her father's a mechanic on a military base, and
nice.
She's all into that stuff. Whereas I don't care.
There's a really fun modern kind of like art trend that's happening with people that do 3D car design. There's a handful of like these 3D car artists on Instagram. They all have like 1 billion followers or more, and it's got a really strong like cyberpunk like trend to it, where they take like modern cars and try and imagine what those cars would be if it's like 50 years, 100 years in the future, those cars are still there, but like somebody's like taken this old vintage car from modern time and reimagined it in like the cyberpunk future and then redesigned it.
I've even done the same thing. I took an old muscle car and turned it into a hover car for a comic.
It's a really cool thing, but the next step that they're doing is so these guys are doing this all in 3D, but they're taking like 3D photos of these models that they've designed, and it looks just like real cars. And it looks so much like real cars that people are like, dude, I want to make that car. And so these artists are actually like building kits so that people can take these cars and design them out. And it's like, oh my gosh, like these cars are just like the coolest thing.
Oh, that's insane.
Like that's probably the thing that I like the most about Cyberpunk 2077 is like it was all like 80s muscle cars with a cyberpunk like future look to it. The cars, the vehicles in Cyberpunk 2077 are their own characters. Like I love them. I want every one of those cars. So good.
All this of all the cars I saw in Cyberpunk so far, like just looking at things, it made me want to do like a Honda Civic up, all spacey. Would be super cool.
It would be. There's so much like creativity that you can do once you get into like I love vehicles and I love just the idea of I want to we've got like this little Nissan Juke, and I want to put a lift kit on it. I want to put big tires on it, and I want to like paint it so it looks like the A-Team van.
That's awesome.
I just think that would look awesome. And I was like, sure. And I'm like, oh no, don't do that. Like I expected you to have a little pushback, like we can't do that. And she's like, yeah, that sounds great. And I'm like, no, like I don't have.
He turns to you and says, I love it when a plan comes together.
Just like, oh geez, like, and I really kind of want to do that, but we might have to get a new vehicle because like. We're growing out of it. The Juke and 2 kids. There's no space. There's just no space at all. So we might have to get something a little bit bigger. So now I'm like,
Mom.
I'm gonna have to get a minivan, something like that. But I don't know. I need something that's a little bit more.
It looks like I'm about to die, buddy.
All right, man. Well, we can call it here. We can call it here, or we can just like let it run out. Or you probably want some juice.
Yeah, I guess I'll need it.
Yeah, you might need it.
Yeah, let's call it an end. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for having me, Glenn. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, dude, this was fun.
Sorry we were off topic, everyone. We talked more about video games and shit than...
It's all good. It's all good. I just wanted to sit down and have some more tea with you. I promised I'd get you back on so we could do Stargazer, your other tea rapper, and if there's people out there that like watching 2 guys get tea drunk for a couple hours and chat.
Next time, I'll send you some old tea and we'll drink old tea on the next one.
That'll be cool. That'll be cool. We'll definitely do that. So awesome. All right, man. Get some juice into your phone there. Thank you so much for taking the time out from your busy gaming schedule.
That's it. About to die. Thank you very much.
See you, man. Have a good one. Later.